It started well enough. In front of a huge crowd in Somerset, Kentucky, a modern-day General Lee glides through a fountain of blue water. The landing, less graceful, slamming to the ground and skidding into a barrier, almost taking out a cameraman. The driver, Raymond Cohn, escaped unhurt, here speaking before the jump.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
Not a distance jump, it's an obstacle jump.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
The Dukes of Hazzard was a highly popular American TV series from the late 70s and early 80s featuring cousins Bo and Luke Duke, who try to outwit the corrupt local sheriff. Along with cousin Daisy Duke, the star of the show, a customised 1969 Dodge Charger, nicknamed the General Lee, which featured in countless stunts.
All right, Josh, better hunker down. You ain't gonna believe what's coming.
John Schneider, who played Bo Duke, there too, eager to see this stunt.
I want to break through the water.
Hit like right there.
Turns out hitting the water wasn't the problem, hitting the road was. For this General Lee, let's just say its stunt jumping days are over. Eddie Meyer, NBN News.
In major reforms to help renters from being misled, the New South Wales government will now force real estate agents to disclose when images of homes and units have been photoshopped to make a property more attractive. The new measures also limit what personal information can be collected from prospective buyers, such as relationship status or the number of tattoos a person has. Fines of up to almost $50,000 apply for those caught breaking the rules. A 2-minute test could save your life. That's the message from Kidney Health Australia, which is calling on Aussies to check if they're at risk of kidney disease. As many as 2.5 million adults are living with signs of the condition without knowing it. And a new online test can help people identify symptoms. Experts say early detection and action, not just awareness, could save thousands of lives. Fans of the movie Grease had chills last night, with Danny Zuko himself strutting out on stage. John Travolta donning a wig and reuniting with original cast members for a sing-along event at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles.
I thought you were going back to Australia.
The last time Travolta reprised his role was with the late Dame Olivia Newton-John in 2019. A promising new alternative to insulin injections is just months away from trials. Australian innovators of the insulin pill receiving $1 million funding injection from the government to help take their discovery from lab to clinic.
They're the brains behind many years of research to create a pill that delivers insulin by mouth instead of using needles.
But we get to find out now if it really does work, and we couldn't be more excited to have that happen.
Nanotechnology, the key to its creation, shown to be safe and effective in animal studies. There are 3 layers: silver sulfide quantum dots helping the absorption of insulin, the polymer shell preventing its destruction by acids in the stomach.
So for us, the unique aspect about this technology is it's both a pill and a smart insulin. No one's taken it through to clinical trials with that combination before. A smart insulin can respond to the patient's own blood glucose levels. What it can do is turn on when the blood glucose is too high, and then turn off when your blood glucose gets too low.
The mission personal for team researcher Sophie Kang, who lives with type 1 diabetes.
It will just make things more simplified, and also it can also remove the stigma that people have.
Their work set to be rolled out in human trials with the help of a $1 million grant from the federal government.
We have a great history in Australia of medical research, but too often our discoveries are sent overseas.
It's one of 14 Australian startups receiving government support totalling $12 million to develop new medical devices and drugs. targeting cardiovascular disease and diabetes.
We know that those two areas are some of the biggest drivers of poor health and early death.
Human trials will start in the new year. Gabriella Rogers, NBN News.
A fabulous moment for Fran Herndell in Sydney this afternoon after an epic 3,800-kilometre charity run from Perth. She did it in 60 days, the fastest woman to do so, while raising more than $50,000 to support domestic violence survivors.
I'm looking forward to a good bath. And getting my feet looked at because they're in a pretty bad way.
Fran ran 100 kilometres in slides due to injury, lost 4 toenails and wore out 9 pairs of shoes. An amazing achievement. It's time for sport now with Adam Murray and some much needed good news for the Blues.
That's for sure. Good evening, Jane. It's all or nothing on Wednesday week in the Decider. Coming up, we're live to Blues camp with 2 troubled stars set to be given the all clear. Also ahead, the Sharks shown up by the storm, but why coach Craig Fitzgibbon isn't writing off their season. Plus, the Hunters' Nick White gets a taste of the British and Irish Lions.
Why should your workday be like everyone else's? This is more than just a job. This is an ADF career. Make your impact.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Bingo car insurance keeps premiums low. How? By squashing the fluffy extras, of course. You'll save flat out. Bingo car insurance. No fluffy bits.
Safe at work, there for them.
Domino's has mastered the art of sorcery with our new loaded saucy range. Spellbinding flavors on more loaded pizzas like mango and habanero chicken, the carnivore or atomic meat. It's pure sorcery from Domino's.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better and getting great results.
With Light and Easy, I've lost 43 kilos. Troy's lost 53 kilos. It was great because you didn't have to do the work yourself. There was no meal prepping, no grocery shopping. You just grab and go.
Enjoy healthy and delicious award-winning meals delivered to your door. No shopping, no cooking, no stress.
Light and Easy is a great investment for health, happiness and a happy life. I feel absolutely amazing. I feel like a new person.
Live a healthier, better life with Light and Easy.
Today only, Tank World Super Sunday Sale. Save up to $500 off already discounted prices on selected water tanks from our best-selling range. No tricks, just unbeatable value. Today only, don't wait. Call before it's too late. Tank World, 1-800-68-69-70.
OJD is an incurable sheep disease. Can you risk it? On an average farm, OJD can kill 6.2% of your flock annually and causes reduced growth rates and poor wool quality. Don't risk your future ewes. Start at home. Vaccinate your lambs at marking with a single Gadare dose to protect them for life. Talk to your local rural store and visit gadare.com.au for safe use instructional videos.
The Lazy Boy Big End of Financial Year sale is here with 20 to 50% off. Oakland Power Recliner now half price. Demi Sofa now just $2,999 and 50% off the Derby Power Recliner. Plus 20% off all Lazy Boy furniture. Lazy Boy, long live the lazy.
Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends Monday. Hot price on the Dyson Airstream, now under $600. Hisense French door fridge, now under $1,500. Save $2,000 on the LG 77-inch OLED TV. Best prices guaranteed. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
Tonight's code word is fans. Enter at nbnnews.com.au for your chance to win.
The Sharks have fallen out of the top 8, suffering their 4th loss in 5 games, 30 points to 6 to Melbourne. The scoreline didn't look pretty, but Cronulla coach Craig Fitzgibbon believes his side still has a reason to be happy.
A comprehensive loss, leaving the Sharks shattered. But in the wake of another defeat, Craig Fitzgibbon says things aren't as bad as they seem.
I don't want to sit here and applaud that sort of scoreline, but it was far better than what we dished up last week.
The Storm made a lightning start.
Quick ball, Katoa into a massive hole.
It looked like it'd be a long afternoon. Cronulla couldn't take its chances, tries went begging. But at half-time, they only trailed by 4.
As far as the defence and the scoreline, again, blows out, but I thought we actually improved quite a bit.
Discipline didn't help in the second half, neither did moments of brilliance like this.
Katoa's there, makes the catch, Gibson to meeting.
Back rower Eli Katoa flying high twice in the final 15 minutes.
Katoa's there again, and he beats Kennedy again. Hughes is there. It's the Eli Katoa show.
Taking the game away from the Sharks, Melbourne making the most of their late opportunities. Cronulla's attack just couldn't click.
Yeah, that's what hurts. Again, the scoreline looks like we just got dusted pretty hard. We can't hide from that, and we won't. But the things leading up to that I saw when nothing was going our way, that was the most pleasing part in a disappointing loss.
Fitzgibbon believes the loss can kickstart their season, but knows time is starting to run out.
I don't know how many rounds left, but we've got to smarten up pretty quickly, I think. Yep.
Sam Jordan, NBN News.
The Cowboys have snapped their run of 3 heavy defeats, holding off the fast-finishing Titans for a crucial 30-24 win. The Cowboys led 24-6 before the Gold Coast clawed its way back into the match. The Central Coast, Scott Drinkwater scoring twice to move North Queensland 1 win outside of the 8. Dragons co-captain Damien Cook has launched a passionate defence of Shane and Kyle Flanagan, saying critics of the pair need to back off. The Red V defied a huge injury toll to beat the Eels, the coach praising his team's courage.
A tough week for the Flanagan family, ending with an emotional win.
Oh, it's been unfair. It's been dead set unfair.
Back-to-back losses had Dragons detractors unloading on the father-son duo, Red V players firing up in defence of their coach and halfback.
But to actually bash them online, non-stop going at it, they can all have their opinion every week, whatever they got, but like online bullying is a different thing as well. So that's what we can't have, and we're not going to support it. So I was very happy to see Kyle cross the line tonight and just say he deserved that.
We're not saying for 1 second saying Kyle's the elite of elite, but even though he's my son, there's no kid tries harder than him.
Injuries left the Dragons with no fit players on the bench in the second half, but they held on for a 34-20 victory over the Eels.
Spirit and courage got us home.
They fought really hard, but I felt like we gave them everything they got tonight.
Souths have sunk to second last on the ladder, a 50-28 defeat to the Dolphins, the Rabbitohs' 5th in a row. Hemiso Tabuai Fido celebrating 100 NRL matches with 4 tries.
We don't have enough confidence in ourselves. That's our biggest challenge. It's a bit of a battle, it'll go on, it's a bit of a journey, and I'm up for it, I know what it is.
Cody Walker didn't complete his comeback game, taken off early with another hamstring injury, now waiting on the results of scans.
Different challenges are landing on our doorstep every day. I'm not frustrated by it, I'm not angry by it. Let's just accept the reality of it. We'll get someone else up next week to do the job.
Luke Duffy, NBN News.
New South Wales has received a double boost ahead of the Origin decider, with 2 key figures set to pull on Sky Blue next Wednesday night. Zach Bailey joins us from the Blues Hotel. Zach, what's the latest?
Good evening, Adam, and welcome relief for coach Laurie Daly tonight, with Brian To'o cleared of a serious knee injury. The Panthers winger was sent for scans yesterday afternoon after our cameras captured him limping following Penrith's win over the Bulldogs on Thursday night. Those results were positive, so To'o will be named for Game 3 alongside his good mate and former Panthers teammate Jerome Luai, who is out of hospital after he missed the Tigers match against Manly with a nasty infection. Both of those players are expected to be on lighter training duties next week. We're also hearing Jacob Kiraz is the Blues' new 18th man instead of his Bulldogs teammate Matt Burton, while 21-year-old Dolphins halfback Isaiah Katoa will join the group for the first time given his strong form in season 2025. Adam, the official Blues lineup will be out later tonight before the players head into camp here at Homebush tomorrow.
Zach Bailey, thank you. The The British and Irish Lions stumbled against Argentina, but they've certainly hit the ground running in Australia. Playing their first warm-up match of the tour, the Lions thrashed the Western Force 54-7, crossing for 8 tries in front of 46,000 fans in Perth.
I don't think that score reflected certainly the first 50 minutes. We probably left a couple of opportunities out there, but we got stuck right into them and had a real test match intensity about it.
The Hunters' Nick White was the lone try scorer for the Force. He'll now fly to Newcastle to join the Wallabies ahead of their test match against Fiji at McDonald Jones Stadium. Mighty Winks is still looming large over the racing industry 6 years after her retirement. Owners of the champion mare have decided her first son, a colt by leading stallion Snitzel, will be sold at next year's English yearling sale, where he's expected to attract interest from buyers around the world. Winks' first foal, a filly, was sold for a world record $10 million last year. After the break, Oscar Piastri left fuming after a qualifying mishap in Austria, and the Swifts dropped down the Super Netball ladder.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Tim making her the best costume ever. Because even though Tim has a cold, Tim shows up when it matters. When life needs you, you need Cottrell. Soldier on.
Hungry Jack's is bringing home the bacon. The OG Baconator. Flame-grilled Aussie beef. Sizzling bacon on bacon on bacon on more bacon. Oh, the Baconator range. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
There's something I'll tell you for sure. Gotta lie, it's almost law. This Land Cruiser drives us home.
Toyota.
Experience the ultimate South American adventure from $9,999 per person, including flights. Explore the Amazon, witness the sunrise at Machu Picchu, to a vibrant Rio de Janeiro and more. Search Trip a Deal now.
Total Tools end of financial year flash sale on now. Must end June 30. Get up to $2,000 of bonus points to spend on more tools across the store. Total Tools, totally sorted.
Anaconda's epic stock take pay less sale is on now. Gear up for the great outdoors with unmissable deals, like up to 40% off tents by Coleman. Pay less so you can play more during Anaconda's stock take sale.
Anaconda! Today only, Tank World Super Sunday Sale. Save up to $500 off already discounted prices on selected water tanks from our best-selling range. No tricks, just unbeatable value. Today only, don't wait. Call before it's too late. Tank World, 1-800-68-69-70.
For those living with early Alzheimer's disease, Suvinade is a drink proven to slow memory and cognitive decline by 60% when taken daily over 3 years. Hold on to what matters with Suvinade.
For over 100 years, Somerville Laundry Lomax has been providing legal support to individuals, families and businesses. When you need someone who'll stand beside you, turn to the team trusted by generations. Somerville Laundry Lomax, for all matters when it matters most.
Best sheds up to 40% cheaper. Farm sheds $11,990. Industrial buildings only $18,600.
Best Sheds 20% off sale is on right now.
Call Best Sheds on 1-800-15-1780.
The snooze end of financial year sale has been extended for 1 week only. Save up to 50% off selected mattresses and up to 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end Sunday.
What a little snooze can do.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Half-yearly clearance on now. Best brands, best range, best prices. Guaranteed.
Oscar Piastri was furious at the Austrian Grand Prix after Pierre Gasly spun out late in qualifying, denying the Aussie the chance to challenge for pole position. Piastri will start from third in tonight's race, while his teammate and F1 title challenger Lando Norris begins from the front row of the grid. The Sydney Swifts have been knocked off the top of the Super Netball for the first time since the opening round, after going down to the Melbourne Mavericks by 4. The Giants resurgence has taken another step, beating the Firebirds by 5 for their third win in 4 starts. Far North Coast Rugby Union and the Ballina Seahorses have maintained their winning streak, defeating the Byron Shire Rebels 53-7. Elsewhere in round 10, defending champions Wollongbar Alstonville thrashed Lismore City.
Fuelled by their 64-15 win over the Bulls last week, City was the first to break the ice in their clash against competition heavyweights Wollongbar Alstonville. But James Vidler was quick to respond for the defending champions. The squad continued their momentum to attack down the far left. A grey Lejeune then slipped through the cracks for Lismore to send the crowd roaring. Sitting 12 points to 10, Sam Kerry found space on the wing for Wollongbar Alstonville. Vidler then returned for a double act moments before half-time. Out of the sheds and up 24-10, Joe Blythe continued the red jersey's rampage as the tussle turned physical. Kerry dug deep to get this breakthrough for Wollongbar. Teammate Lewis Holman followed suit to add another 5. Bodie Smith added to their tally when he crossed under the posts. Their last try from Blythe proved the final nail in the coffin to cement the match as a 64-10 thrashing. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
Maitland tasted victory only once this weekend in NBL 1 East, losing both matches in Bankstown this afternoon. Yesterday, the women's side fought hard but fell short to Inner West 78-73 before the Mustangs men stormed home late to record an 87-83 win led by Christian Little with a double-double. It was a tough road trip to the Northern Beaches for the Falcons. The women went down to the ladder leaders 95-72 after Manly blew them away in the first half, while the men surrendered their lead in the final quarter, going down 88-81. The Port Macquarie Dolphins' winning streak has reached double figures, with the Goulburn Bears becoming their latest victim in the Waratah League. Port now sits third on the ladder and is now even more determined to keep their finals hopes alive.
Keeping Goulburn to just 59 points, that was the major talking point in the Dolphins' home court triumph.
To keep them below 60, we're really happy with that because that's our goal going into every game, to keep them to a low score, because when it comes to offense, you can do so much.
After a tight first quarter, the Dolphins piled the pressure onto the Bears, posting 50 points in the second half.
We played a zone for probably a little bit too long. We gave them some open looks, and then by then it was sort of too late. Even when we were getting we were contesting shots, and they were still dropping them.
The Dolphins' 107-59 win brings Port Macquarie to 10 on the trot. To make that 11, they'll have to topple Sutherland next Sunday on their home court in Sydney.
The more individual efforts we have makes a bigger team effort. So, yeah, as long as we stick together as a team, we do great.
Connor Marcellus, NBN News.
And entries are now open for next year's Coffs Backyard Ultra, due to be held on the June long weekend. The event is quickly gaining traction, with 200 people having signed up within an hour of registration's opening. Participants will complete a 6-kilometre loop of the Coffs Creek Walkway every hour on the hour until one runner remains. And that is our look at sport.
Nice one. Thank you, Adam. Plenty of rain on the way tomorrow for the Northern Rivers. We'll check all the details with Lauren Kempe next.
Tonight, family fun and big adventures on all new travel guides. Then, 60 Minutes. On Stan, stream the new season of Sullivan's Crossing.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
In the all-new symmetrical all-wheel drive Subaru Forester, get ready to own the road and conquer the wild. It's you and Subaru for a world discovered. See you out there.
How should I wash my dress? You should use a delicate cold cycle. Remember to turn it inside out, and don't put it in the dryer.
Oh, thank goodness I asked. You just saved date night.
We can see more of the world than ever.
With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
I've got something I want to tell you. Yeah, I'm pregnant.
Meet the new Volvo EX90 for life. Volvo.
It's tax time at Officeworks, so claim everything you can, from stationery to tech and anything in between. Everything could be tax deductible. Shop before June 30.
Head to Chemist Warehouse and save on big brands like Athlete Fizz 10 Pain Relief Gel 70 gram, $13.69. Rexona Deodorant 230ml range, $6.24 each. And Little Swiss Prebiotic and Probiotic Gummies 100 pack, $33.99. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day.
Attention Aldi shoppers, these aren't just low prices. It's a sale!
It's not a sale. Our prices are just this low every day.
Yes, it's an everyday sale!
I think there's a sale.
No, it's not an everyday sale. It's just a
It's not an everyday sale!
An everyday sale. No, there's no sale. There's no sale. Just low prices every day at Aldi.
Good different.
Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends Monday. Amazing value. Sleepmaker Smart Rest Deluxe Queen Mattress just $9.99, or the Celia Clay Mash-Free Foam Queen Mattress only $14.99. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases. Best prices guaranteed. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends Monday. Up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. Laptops from $296. Bonus gift cards on Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Bonus $50 gift card on Sony headphones. Best prices guaranteed. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
A help company will get people back on their feet, make complicated stuff simple, and even try to predict the unpredictable. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
It's almost hard to believe after the sunshine we had to close out a very calm weekend, but we could see today's conditions do a complete 180 by this time tomorrow. What is set to be our first East Coast low in years is developing offshore, meaning we'll see large surf and gale force winds along eastern New South Wales this week, as well as heavy rain, which is also set to hit the Sunshine State. Only light showers fell along the country's south coasts and east of the Divide in the last 24 hours. It was heavier in Western Tassie and isolated pockets of northern Queensland, but hardly a drop fell elsewhere. A moisture feed is currently setting up just off of Queensland here and feeding off abnormally warm water in the Coral and Tasman seas. But we get a clearer idea of how these two systems will interact here on the synoptic chart. These air masses are set to clash tomorrow, forming into one pretty significant low by around Tuesday. Now, the exact positioning of these systems like these are notoriously hard to pinpoint, but the worst weather should hit just south of its centre. Flash and riverine flooding highly likely, with hundreds of millimetres of rain possible in a matter of hours between the mid-coast and Newcastle regions, down to just south of Sydney, where we can expect dangerous coastal conditions with huge waves leading to coastal erosion potentially through to Thursday. The icy June run has lasted well into the end of the month in Brisbane, with the city only topping at 18 degrees tomorrow. Sydney is in for a maximum of 18 as well after a 10-degree start, and the country's capital will shiver through a low of just -5 before getting up to 13. Partly cloudy skies throughout the north coast today, getting up to 19 degrees in Yamba, 18 at Cape Byron and 20 degrees at Coolangatta. Only light southwesterly winds for most of the day. We'll start to see showers develop this evening, the rain intensifying through the day tomorrow from early in the morning, with pockets of heavy rain very likely locally. Temperatures reaching similar tops, 16 in store for Yamba, 15 in Lismore, a little bit cooler there, and 17 in Murwillumbah. Taking a look at coastal conditions, a strong wind warning in place for the Byron coast, 1.5 to 2 metre seas with a 1.5 metre swell, a low tide just after 6 a.m. with the high around midday before the low returns at 5:30. Sun to rise at 6:40 and setting right on 5 p.m. Well, taking a look at the next few days in the Tweed, we could see potentially very heavy falls there tomorrow. Easing quickly, though, late Tuesday through to Wednesday, it is looking like a much calmer end to the working week. In Ballina, significant falls also possible, but easing quickly by around Wednesday of this week. It's much the same for Lismore, with slightly lighter showers forecast there, but still fairly heavy falls. And in Grafton, we are looking at anywhere up to around 35 millimetres tomorrow. Showers continuing through to Tuesday and Wednesday, but sunshine later in the week. And checking out the surf across our local beaches today, it was mostly calm conditions at Diggers. Plenty of sunshine overhead, but these conditions will change locally tomorrow.
Okay, Lauren, thank you. And that is the NBN news for this Sunday. Thanks for your company. Travel Guides is up next, and I'll see you for the late news. From all the team here, good night.